Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I posted. A lot has happened in the crypto space since my last post. I'm sorry for not posting as much. I am going to change that. Want to post more actively, especially since I think the bull run we're almost there. I mean, peak bull I think is upon us. You know, end of this year into next year, things will be great, and I want to cover every single moment of it. So that's it. Again, I apologize for not posting as much, but that will change. But today's video, let's talk about everything that happened this past week. We saw Germany unloading a bunch of Bitcoin, and that seems to have stopped. There may be another piece of FUD out there, but we'll see. We got a big Bitcoin conference coming up. A lot of big news with that. We got the US, we got some CPI information, and rate cuts may be coming. So just a lot to happen. Not to mention the ETH ETFs coming too. So a lot of things to be positive about in the crypto space, and just want to go over that. So let's get into it. Let's see what has happened in the past crypto. Oh man, so everything's looking better, right? Much better than it was the last couple of weeks. So we look at the past week. Bitcoin is currently up 1%. We got ETH up 5%. Nice to see a turnaround there. BNB's up 6.4%. Solana went down a little bit, but it's starting to trend back up 3.7%. XRP, look at XRP, up 22%. ADA, everybody talking crap on ADA. ADA's up 21%. AVAX up 2%. So a lot of the favorites are up. NEAR is up double digits. So things are looking good. Things are looking good, right? Now let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. We see that Bitcoin dominance is currently at 53.3 and ETH dominance 17.5. And the market cap's at 2.16 trillion. So we're up 2%. So crypto's not dead, guys. You know, stop it. Ignore the FUD. You know, things are looking on the up and up. Germany seems to have stopped everything. They have no more Bitcoin to flood the market with. Fear and greed went from fear. We're back to neutral. So things are looking good, guys. Bitcoin 58,000, ETH at 3,100, Solana 140, Toncoin $7.34, ADA still in the top 10, 42 cents. Avalanche starting to creep up a little bit, 25 bucks. Chainlink 13 bucks, Near $5. So overall, the projects that you know basically I like, they're still going up, and I see nothing but a positive future for them. So let's see what sector for the past 7 days has been performing well. And I look at this. This is a new thing from Artemis. I don't even know if it's new, but I'm starting to use it now to see if I'm in the right sector, if I'm investing in the right place when it comes to crypto. And you see right now for the past week, the things that have been trending up. Well, before I do that, look at RWA, real world assets. For the past week, they've been down right here, 4%, down 4%. But the things that have been trending up are obviously exchange tokens looking good. So let's see here. We got staking services, file storage, gaming's on the come up, store values on the come up. So that's basically your Bitcoin, Litecoin, I guess, if you want to say that. Bitcoin ecosystem and data availability. Those are what's trending up. And then Bitcoin and ETH. So it's good to take a look at that, guys, if you're, wondering what to build as far as your next bags go or what to focus on. Good to take a look at this. Look at the 7-day, 30-day, and look at the historical patterns as to see what may have massive gains in the future. So also looking for the past, this is tracking the past 24 hours for the top blockchains. If we look at daily active addresses, not daily or just addresses on the blockchain, addresses that are actually doing something there, not just dead wallets. Near is at 1.5 million. Huh. Solana 1.4 million. Ton almost 500, almost half a million, 456,000. ETH 438. And you got to remember with ETH, there's L2s as well, but ETH 438. Sui 327, 327,000. Aptos 219,000. C-Chain Avalanche 34,000. ADA 28,000. And Phantom 23,000, Injective 8,600, and then Say 5,500 active addresses. And I will be making a video on Say. I won't comment on that now, but I'll be making a video on Save Very here shortly, very shortly. Daily transactions near at 4.8 million. Solana 45 million, guys. Ton 5.4 million, ETH 1.1 million, Sui 1.7, Aptos 1.2, Avalanche 144, ADA starting to come up a little bit. They're at 51,000. Phantom 286,000. Look at Phantom. Injective 2.6 million and Say 4.2 million. That is interesting because you have that versus this. So I got to do some deep digging here, but I hope no funny business happening here. But it's weird to see that many daily active addresses, unless these little amount of addresses are just exchanging a lot of money. We'll see. Maybe it's DeFi, maybe it's something else, but I have to take a deep dive into that. And then lastly, if we look at TVL, we see that TVL winner here is going to be ETH 53 billion, followed by Solana at 4.3 billion. So that is good. Now, let's see where smart money is investing. So for the past week ending last week, before, July 5th, right after the holiday here in the US, weekly flows 398 million into Bitcoin, 16 million into Solana, 10 million into Ethereum, Litecoin 800,000, Chainlink 600,000, Avalanche 500,000. Then you have 000. But if we look at this again, we see that Bitcoin is the top dog. And then for the L1s, looks like smart money is putting more money into Solana versus Ethereum, which I find very interesting within spot ETF near approval. So that's interesting. Now, let's look at some major unlocks that are happening. If you guys hold any of these bags, hopefully you're aware of this. They may impact the price a little bit. But Optimism has about only 27% unlocked. In any event, in about a day, they're going to have 16 million being unlocked. Arbitrum, they have 64 million in a couple of days going to be unlocked. Manta, about 5 million to be unlocked in about a week. Then you have Aptos in about 30 days. They're about to have 70 million unlocked. Then you have AVAX in about a little bit over a month. They're going to have 245 million unlocked. And you see with AVAX, about 62.6 has been unlocked currently. And then you have Solana. Solana has about half a year, 9 million that's going to be unlocked. So that's not too bad. So I wanted to just touch on that so you guys, if you're holding any of these, to know what's coming up if it's not on your radar. So the big news of the week is the German government not unloading OTC market, but unloading on these exchanges. And that's what was one of the catalysts driving the price of Bitcoin down. So good news, they have no more left. No more that would impact the market at least. So according to Arkham, they sent their entire balance of over 49,000 Bitcoin worth about 2.9 billion to exchanges and market makers in the last 3 weeks. Right now, they have less than a Bitcoin left. That's crazy. I mean, who's in charge of that? Who's making those decisions? How are they going to feel in about 2-3 years, even 5-10 years, when all that Bitcoin they had was worth 2.9 million, and then later on they see that it's worth 20 billion? Very, very crazy. Head scratcher in my book. But in any event, the good news is no more. And Bitcoin Archive posted this saying, hey, after the UK, they sold their gold from 1999 to 2022, and the price of gold went up 600%. The same thing is going to happen, I believe, when Germany looks back in the history books and say, why the F did we do that? I'll never understand it. But hey, people with a higher salary bracket than me are making those decisions, so they must have their reasons. Now, we look at the inflows. So yes, Germany did unload a lot, but the spot ETFs here in the US were also taking in a lot. And, BlackRock's been taking a lot. Just yesterday, about 121 million, Fidelity 115 million, ARK 13 million, Bitwise 28 million. In total, 311 million inflows yesterday alone, just from the spot ETFs. So again, there's FUD and retail investors may be scared, people that really don't fully understand Bitcoin. And hopefully my channel and other channels like it can help inform people that this is a scarce asset. You can't inflate it. You can't print more of it. It's controlled by code, and it's a set supply. And what we see fiat all around the world having issues at some point, you can see with inflation, the value of your dollar or whatever your fiat is going down. You need to have some Bitcoin, and smart money definitely understands that. Look at that. They definitely understand that. So hopefully we don't sell all of it to them, because BlackRock, I truly believe that their intention is to have most of all the Bitcoin. Larry Fink understands. Michael Saylor understands. And we'll talk a little bit about him a little later. So Mr. 100 could be a he, she, could be a team, could be a country. No one knows. But while Germany was selling, they were buying. They accumulated over 1,200 Bitcoin in the last 4 days. So these are reasons why I don't think you should be scared. Bull market's not over, because if you look at all the buying that's taking place, if smart money, people with higher pay grades than us that do this for a living, they understood what was happening to an asset, they would not be buying, they'll be offloading. So Germany's scared, but these people are buying, DCAing, buying the dip. And I bought the dip a little bit myself. I did. And then the only other thing that happened, yes, Germany unloaded, they don't have any more, but there's a wallet labeled Genesis Trading that has transferred over 760 million worth of Bitcoin to Coinbase in the past month. So, this wallet also has 1.9 billion available to dump. So we're watching this one closely. It doesn't look they're as aggressive as Germany was, but this could be another one that may unload, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. So just pay attention. There may be some more dips for buying opportunities. I don't think it's nothing to be scared of. Also, this week, the House in the U.S. failed to pass or veto a bill that the current president did. He signed, basically allowing highly regulated companies to custody crypto and Bitcoin. So that is a blow to the crypto space. We thought that would have happened, but in the US, I would say, and politically, there's been some traction. And right now, crypto's on the ticket. A lot of people who thought it was a scam and everything like that stayed away from it. They realized that there's a big voting block that's into it. And there's some adoption now. People are really understanding it. And you'll see later on something I'm talking about, that it's mainstream in politics now. It's a topic that they all want to talk about, and they want to get those voters. So hopefully things will change a little. And one of the candidates, Republican nominee Trump, will be speaking at the Bitcoin conference here in a couple of weeks. Now that is big. That is big, big, big. And I also believe independent candidate Kennedy will also be speaking as well. It's huge. So, I mean, it's at the forefront now. I don't think we've had anyone this big speak at one of these conferences in forever. And, there's a chance that he can be president again. And to have him speak at the conference speaks volumes. So, I'll watch that, and we'll see what happens with the election. But that's big for the crypto space. Also, the CFTC chair, who is the opposite of SEC, they reiterate that Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities. In his testimony, Rostin Benham, or Behnam, hope I'm pronouncing that right, again said that Bitcoin and ETH are commodities. And I know there was some wishy-washiness about ETH being a security. I know in the District Court of Southern District of New York, they said that ETH was a security, blah, blah, blah. But now we see that the tides have changed with obviously spot ETFs being approved. This person reiterating things. So I thought that was good news. Good news to hear. Also, in the kind of good news category, here in the US, we have elevated interest rates. And we got some CPI numbers this week. On Thursday, we got a CPI number that read, a little lighter than people anticipated. So the markets thought, yes, Jerome Powell and the Fed has all the ammunition they need to cut rates. And, we're on the up and up, and everybody was predicting September would be when we would get cuts. But if we got bad news, so let's say inflation going down, and then we see that maybe consumer spending is going down, there's more people are having less jobs, economy's at a break, and inflation going down. That's what you want to see. Inflation going down and bad economic news, then that would help speed the process of cutting rates. But we didn't get that. We got a little bit of good, and we got a little bit of bad. So Thursday inflation going down, and then you see on Friday inflation ticked up or higher than estimates. Because of that, we no longer have hopes of having a rate cut in July. So Fed, I believe they're off in August, so there's no Fed meeting in August. But September, look at this. In September, here, let's click that, September, there's over 90% of economists believe that there will be a rate cut in September. And why is this important? It's important because it's going to be a little bit easier or less expensive to borrow money. And when that happens, risk assets such as crypto and tech stocks will boom. There'll be more money flowing into these assets. People won't have to save as much and do all of this. This is definitely big. There's even talks that in September, there may be a double rate cut. So right now, I'm thinking about 0.25%. A double would be 50. If that happens, the markets will go crazy. And you want to be in a prime position in your assets, whether they're stocks or crypto, to be along on the ride for that train, because it's going to be great. So if we look at Bitcoin, I just want to talk about it again. I know I've been making Bitcoin videos, but I just want to drive home how important it is to own a little bit, just a little bit. Over the last 4 years, U.S. wages, and probably similar all around the world, increased 19%. But look at the cost of everything else that you need to survive. Shelter up 22%, electricity up 30%, used cars 32%, gas 36%, home prices 47%. Then let's circle back to this. Wages, only 19%. So everything around you is getting more and more expensive, and the value of your dollar is decreasing, or your fiat decreasing. That's why I believe we all need some crypto, Bitcoin. It's a life raft. Because yes, even if you don't have a whole Bitcoin, you have a little bit, that little bit will appreciate. Let's say you have 0.1 Bitcoin. In 5-10 years, that 0.1 Bitcoin will be worth a lot. And even if you can't afford a whole Bitcoin, the projects that we talk about here on this channel, these other crypto projects, I think they're good to get in, and you can make a lot of returns on them, and then maybe put a little bit into Bitcoin until you get that whole Bitcoin. That should be everyone's goal, not financial advice, of course. So yeah. So SEC, and again, when I said crypto is on the ticket, political ticket, there's some more adoption in government now. Just look at this. We have Trump and we have Kennedy speaking at the Bitcoin conference a couple of weeks. And if you noticed, SEC approved the spot ETF for Ethereum and Bitcoin. And now just suddenly they're dropping cases. So this is according to Ignis on Twitter. He said the SEC halted its probe into Consensus. Yesterday ended its investigation into Paxos. And today the inquiry into Stacks was dropped. They recognize, especially the incumbent president here, not doing too well in the polling. And he sees that his other, the person he's running against is doing pretty well, and he's open to crypto. So maybe that's why there's a change in opinion. I don't know. But either way, it's a win for the crypto space, right? Also, big news. MicroStrategy. I own MicroStrategy, and there's a 10-for-1 split coming in August, either August 7th or August 8th. And guys, again, not financial advice, but if you can't afford a Bitcoin, obviously for most people, no one can go out and afford, spend over 60 grand on a Bitcoin alone. Let alone to get half a Bitcoin, 30 grand. You can't do it. However, in order to get exposure to Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is a good performer. It's been up over close to $2,000. So at its high, currently it's around $1,400 or something like that, but they're going to do a 10-for-1 split. And if there's one thing I know that I'm doing between now and peak bull is accumulating MicroStrategy. Get as much shares as I can get and just sit on it, because this thing can run. And when Bitcoin hits 100, 150, 200, whatever it hits, if it's anything crazy, the price of this stock will go bananas. And so this is one that I plan to hold and not sell, not for a long time. I'm not big into stocks, but I do own a few. I own Tesla, MicroStrategy, and what's the other one? NVIDIA after their split. AI and crypto, Bitcoin proxies, I think are very, very good plays in the stock market. But this right here, when I saw this, I was very surprised and very excited, because I'm going to be stacking MicroStrategy for now, at least. My play is I'm going to be stacking this, not DCAing into Bitcoin. And then, if we get another bear or something like that, the profits from MicroStrategy I will put into Bitcoin. So that's my play. So very good news. Take a look for that. And in August, there's going to be a split. Also, Bitwise filed, they amended their S1 report for filing their spot ETF for Ethereum. I know I've been hearing that it was going to be approved this week, next week. Either way, it's going to be approved sometime, before September. So when that happens, the price of ETH will go crazy, and I think it'll lift all the other remaining L1s and the altcoins in general. So that's very, very positive. Next, we have 40 banks shut down all of a sudden in China. It's crazy because a lot of this money was, into real estate, and we all see what happened over there with real estate. A lot of unfinished properties, and over there in China, a lot of people, as far as wealth and investment goes, they weren't really in the stocks, but real estate was the big thing. That's why you saw all these skyscrapers with tons and tons of apartments in them. Now they're empty, and because of that, it's just a ricochet, and now these banks are suffering because of it. And I bring this up not to highlight, the downfalls of China, but to say that sometimes, you need something else. The old ways of doing things, sometimes, especially with things like this, you see don't always work. It's not good to put all your eggs in one basket as far as crypto or stocks or real estate, but it's good to diversify a little bit. And I know that people over there are probably looking for something else to invest in. They can't believe in real estate anymore. What do you think that's going to be? Earlier this year, we talked about how China was more open into Bitcoin and crypto and all of that. And I truly believe, because of news like this, that Asia, China, there's going to be more and more inflows into Bitcoin and crypto. So watch out. And it's a lesson for us here as well. Always good to diversify. Bitcoin, real estate, whatever it may be, but putting your eggs all in one basket, I don't think this can ever happen in the US, but you never know. It's good to just, diversify your risk. But let's see. Hopefully they're into Bitcoin and things go crazy. And then lastly, I'll leave with this. Goldman Sachs going to launch 3 tokenized projects this year. We know the RWA is all the talk, although the past 7 days has been going down, as I showed earlier. But tokenization is it. And they're going to do it on the blockchain. And you're going to have a lot of Fortune 500 companies starting to say, okay, I see something here. And then they're going to start tokenizing these assets, your real estate, vehicles, paintings, and all types of stuff. And these companies are going to be looking for a smart contract platform that can handle all of that. And if you watch this channel, you know what my pick is. I'm just monitoring things like this. And with Solana and how they have their blinks, and they're going to have Fire Dancer close to almost finished by the end of this year, early next year. I think they're primed to be the top performer this year as far as crypto goes. But we'll see. We'll see. It's just me talking out loud. So that is my video for today, and I hope you liked it. And again, I'll be making more content. Just life takes over sometimes, kids, wife, and just all of that. But right now I think we need to have our finger on the pulse as far as crypto goes, because we're at the beginning of something special here, and I want to cover it. So guys, I hope you enjoy your weekend, and until next time, thank you. Bye.